Hey everyone, it's me Stagger. Just a forewarning here. If you're one of those people that believe that each book should be protected like a tome that is located in a museum and should not be touched by anyone unless it got placed into the wrong hands, including by the wraths of God, don't watch this video. However, if you're one of those sane people that actually like to use books in the way that they're intended, which is to read them and maybe help you out, then keep watching, because this is what that video is. I'm not a collector by any means, and I use guides like they're intended to. Now, this book was actually very protected before we actually opened to it. When I first opened this, well, first of all, there's Fragile written all over it. Second of all, I got this from PlayAsia.com. I'm not sponsored, but I just thought I'd shout out because that's where I got it. And third of all, it was like wrapped in like this super immense amount of plastic, and there was bubble wrap on top and bottom of the book, surrounded by packaging peanuts of all things. It's just a book. But at least I know that they do care for those people that do believe that every single tome is a precious artifact. Bubble wrap, really. Anyway, so Octopath Traveler guidebook, or strategy guide, whatever you want to call it. I can't seem to get it all in frame. Just give me one moment. I apologize for the unprofessionalism. Alright, that's good enough, I guess. So the Octopath Traveler guidebook. Now I know what you may be thinking, oh yeah, there's a book, there's an ebook that's only $15 and it works fine. I don't really like that ebook. Biggest thing is that when I was reading the sample, it was basically just reading somebody's playthrough of the game. It doesn't really go in detail, in depth of every nook and cranny of the game, and I felt like that was a little bit upsetting and honestly a waste of money. So I got this book. It's in Japanese. I can't read a single thing, but that doesn't matter in the end because I am, like Cyrus, I am willing to decipher the tome in order to understand it for the audience that I'm making this video for, really. So, first things first, we actually have a sleeve, and if you open it up, you can actually see, I'm sorry, the lens flare. You can actually see the sketch of everything, and that's everything fully colored, and I think that's pretty neat. Nothing really important about the book. But anyway, so the first page, our first few pages, well, first of all, we have the table of contents, which I will be figuring out how to read all of this stuff. And then we got information, official artwork about each traveler, and information about each traveler, which is very important. In this light, I did not. Give me one moment. I'm sorry. That's not any better, isn't it? Well, shoot. Anyway, and this is like full detailed artwork. Instead of that artwork that you see on the side of every single person's stat screen, this is like actual physical, no bit crunching art here. And I think that's super, super neat. And every single one actually has a quote. I'm guessing this is like kind of what they stand for or something. But I don't know because I haven't played the game in Japanese, nor have I really, nor am I able to even read any of this. But it's really a nice touch nonetheless. Instead of having like a grid with all the information, whatever. And then we got, I swear to freaking God. Okay, I think that's better. Okay. So then we got information on every single traveler, some quest info, like, you know, that's like that means that guy has a quest. There's actually I can't even see this one. Oh yeah. the journals of every single cast member. You know, you can read them at any time point. You know, talking is a very important thing in any kind of RPG. Extra guide, blah blah blah, basic stuff. So anyway, we got some information about path actions, their consequences and whatnot. They're you know, basic tutorial things, how to break something, and you know, exploit weaknesses and whatever. And then we get to the story, which I was actually a little bit disappointed about. And that's because each character is listed. Let me zoom back in. Well, actually, no, this is just information on how to read this stuff. But there is a really huge map here. If the stupid thing will focus. And I'm assuming these numbers mean page numbers. So every information that you need of every single dungeon is within these page numbers. And then we actually get to the actual guide and the story. It makes sense that they will keep things minimalistic, but I was still a little bit disappointed, mainly because the way that the bosses are written, they don't necessarily give out like solid information about each boss, like, you know, what, you know, like, you know, their HP if we're fighting them solo, their minions and all that. And then yeah, their HP, their full HP, their minions HP, and what happens if you fight this character with a certain amount of party members. It just gives you a little bit of information about each boss, and then the way that the Japanese version works is that they would use okay, let me just put the book in front of the camera again. I apologize. Alright, so basically the way that they did it in Japanese is that instead of having a symbol for each item, they would actually have it in kanji. And that is a bit discerning, but it's nothing that I have dealt with before, so I can work around that. And then, oh yeah, it does give you a minion information, but I was really hoping for a lot more information than that. And then, yeah, it just goes through each boss of each character. That's a bit disappointing, if I'm being completely honest. It does give a little bit of strategy on how to take them down, which is a bit more important, I guess. And each chapter, as you can probably see, it highlights the important people on the map, and these are the people that you must talk to, but it only gives you 2 of them. Okay, that's weird, but sure, why not? I'll figure out how to read this sooner or later. And then, yeah, it's like this throughout. Oh, hi, Bella. Sorry, my cat walked in. Anyway, gives you every single information of the story for each character. And then we got some treasure info, it looks like. Or maybe this is more detail on how each one works. It starts off with, actually no. Oh yeah, it does say Ulbrich, doesn't it? Actually, I'm not sure. Well, whatever. Anyway, I will figure out what this all means sometime in the future. It's a lot of information, a lot more information than I thought this book would actually have. And then we got some information about some certain characters here, or certain boss battles. Yeah, those are actually boss battles. So, oh no, these are just regular battles, aren't they? Well, whatever they are. they will. I'm pretty sure the information that they provide here would be pretty helpful. So now we got a checklist for each character for whatever the reason. Then we got some maps, which is really the biggest thing that I wanted to purchase this guide for. It even gives you information about each of the 4 secret guard bosses. Anyway, or secret job bosses. Anyway, this map is actually pretty dang detailed. So you can see all the information about each place, and about each place they all every NPC is numbered and lettered. They are not, well, there are some on this page, and tells you the names and whatnot, but it doesn't really tell you anything else about them. If you want information about all of that, you gotta go pretty far back, actually, and look them up through this list, if I recall correctly. So, yeah. So yeah, this gives you all the information of each character, or each NPC, each treasure chest, where its save points are located, and that, oh yeah, and even secret passages like this one right here, which I don't think I've ever noticed that. But yeah, that'd be definitely something I'd be looking at. And look at how, and you know, a lot of the places in the game is really beautiful, but to see it like in this nice zoom out is really impeccable. And then you even have every single mansion. Oh wow, that looks really cool. Anyway, yeah, this is what I mostly bought the guide for. Each map and information about every NPC, so that way I know, what I can, what I can get if I were to provoke and steal, and what I can provoke, what I can steal. Definitely the side quest, since there are so many freaking side quests in this game. It's really what I mostly bought this thing for. Wait, hold on. I know you can only see the bottom floor in the Colosseum, so it's kind of interesting to see it zoom out. That's pretty neat. Anyway, so that is the biggest thing that I got this thing for. Then it has some data, which is basically information about each second job, every single NPC. Jeez, there's so many. Oh boy. And then of course the items, which is another thing. I like the fact that it has a list of these items, and that is another big thing why I got this one. It has every list, and it even has every single quest items, and I believe information on how you get them. So that's fantastic, really it is. And also, it's the only thing that tells you how to get into the gates of Finis. So it tells you here, it's a little bit cryptic, but basically you gotta beat every single path story, every single traveler story, give Kit the healing grape, help Kit find a traveling whatever, and traveling actor, help somebody find true love, and then they meet, and then you get to go to the gates of Finis. And it even tells you a little bit of recommendations in regards of before you're entering. So I find it interesting that they recommend Alfin as a dancer. I can't even picture Alfin as a dancer, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah, I find having Cyrus as a sorcerer is a little bit controversial, since he's a scholar. and I feel like Ophelia fits the bill a little bit more. This is basically just saying, you know, how to enhance everybody's abilities that they already have with a second job. And then, of course, we got the official artwork, or official concept art, which I think was an absolutely nice touch. Ulrich pretty much remained the same, but as you can see, Primrose actually used to have that mask on her. And they went through several different designs, which I think was pretty neat. That looks very modern. That doesn't really fit in the fantasy setting at all. Alphen and, of course, Therion. Therion shirtless, wow. Honnet didn't really change too much. Cyrus, though, he does look a lot different. Ophelia. Tressa looks a lot more like a child than she does in the actual game. Then we got more artwork. That almost looks like Celeste. Anyway, I don't even know what these characters are supposed to be. But yeah, we got some nice field work. And then this is what I really like here. The artwork for every single... The official artwork for every single boss fight, which I think looks really, really cool. Anyway, let's not dwell on this much longer. My arms are actually getting tired. Then we got some other information. I'm not sure exactly what all this is. Even has some information about version 1.0. For those who don't remember, Octopath Traveler had to do a day 1 update, and it's on version 1.1. And I guess this was information on 1.0. And a little silly picture of Alphen forgetting his satchel. I think that was pretty neat. So, yeah, that's information that I had no idea would even be on this, in this thing here. But it just gives you information about 3 different characters. There weren't any others that they really put into, or they didn't need to alter. Just because everything else was pretty well balanced. And then we got some more information. Something about, I guess, well, if you can see the colors properly, blue, green, and red. I guess that's like just telling you some kind of rock, paper, scissors match. I don't know. This is, and there's also some technical information I remember seeing. Actually, let's go back. I know that there's a lot of RPGs that talk about this thing called fear, which I'm not 100% sure what it is, but I'm not 100% sure what it is, but yeah, there is this thing called fear. It's in practically every single RPG. Again, I have no idea what it's about, but it's just a bunch of technical hoo-ha that I really don't fully understand. And then in the back here, we get some credits, what it looks like. Yeah. I like how there's actually, oh, I see. Okay, anyway. Then we get one final artwork, and the people who, one final artwork of them kind of defending Austria, and then some more credits. And then finally, a poster that has a map of the land. It's a little bit glossy, so it's hard to see. But yeah, it has every single place labeled, and that really helps out. And of course, the thing that you often see when somebody posts the music of the game, or really just anything relating to Octopath Traveler, I guess. And that's pretty much everything except for this advertisement of other JRPGs of Square Enix, and then this very glossy Octopath Traveler in the back. So that's pretty much everything inside the book. I do not know what everything says yet, but I will figure that out. And I might even make an update so other people can use this book, because it really is detailed. And we're at a severe disadvantage by not having this. So I say as if we're buckling down. We must defeat the Japanese. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, though, yeah, that's everything in the book, and I'm looking forward to decoding it, and I'll make an update when I do. So that's it. I'll be seeing ya.